Hello everyone, this is Dan, and in this video I'll be showing you how to utilize the wither to break these wood blocks from your tree farm or the stone blocks from your stone generator slash cobblestone generator, while making sure that the wither does not escape. And in fact, this design is completely safe. As you might notice, it does not utilize any bedrock material or cobblestone generators to keep the wither contained. In fact, just has a stone golem here and an iron golem here, and that's basically the only parts that are important. Well, this wall is also important, but So I've had this set up on with 16 of these cages in a world running for 24 hours, and none of the withers escaped. So I'm guaranteeing you now that if you build this correctly and summon the wither correctly, the wither will not escape. So this is survival game mode free. So if you build this in your survival server, it is guaranteed that the wither will not escape and direct havoc unless you start damaging it extensively. The reason this works is that the main head is focused on the snow golem over here, while the secondary heads are trying to attack the iron golem over here. So at no point whatsoever, as I've already said, unless you damage it too much, will it start shooting the blue skulls, which are the cause for the, which break everything. So this would all break. Notice that I can damage it, and it breaks the 3x3x4 high area around it, as long as I don't damage it more than once per second or so. And it takes longer than a single second for you to push the stone blocks from your cobblestone farm up 3 slots to take in all of this before you can damage the wither and get all of them broken. So you should be safe. I use a dispenser with arrows. I don't have any because they ran out. But if you have arrows here, the dispenser would shoot the arrows at the wither, damaging the wither, causing him to break the blocks, along with the stone blocks behind it, which, as I already mentioned, can then be collected by the hopper system down below. For the wood, if you're doing this just for a wood farm, you're in luck because the black skulls break the wood blocks, and you in fact don't need any of this. You can just put it in as just close it off like so on both sides, and remove the dispenser for the arrows and just leave it as stone / iron, because that part is not needed. So that's the simple part. The wood goes into here, the stone goes into here, and this part is only needed if you're using it to break stone. If you're using it exclusively for wood, this part isn't needed. What this is a simple clock here, which sends off a pulse for the hopper to turn on, or the dispenser to shoot arrows at the wither. We've got a lineup with hoppers, which can kind of be extended to a chest full of arrows, so you kind of don't run out. And notice that this clock here can at the same time be hooked up to the cobblestone generators, as long as you put in a pulse limiter at the side. And this amount of time gives you enough time to generate the stone to be pushed in. So you actually don't need it to be this fast, because at this rate you'd only be pushing in one line of blocks for the wither to break, so you can actually decrease the speed by 3 and save on arrows, and yeah. So now that I've shown it to you, and just to make sure that you understand, options difficulty is hard, and as you noticed before, the wither does break the blocks, so we don't have any special game rules to keep it in line. Now let us save and quit and get to the tutorial portion of this video. So build in creative, world options. I'm using super flat, but you can use your regular survival world. The first thing you're going to need to do is put a border for a single chunk. You want this entire prison to be built in the same chunk, because you want the wither and the 2 targets for it to be located in the same, loaded at the same time. So get yourself this collection of items, and let us border out a single chunk. I'll leave this to you. If you don't know how to do this, search online. I'm doing this by the XZ coordinate systems with the last number in brackets. When it changes from 0 to 15, that's when a different chunk is loaded. So as you can notice, it's 0, 15. So there we go. I've just outlined a single chunk. So what you want to do is outline this and start building it from around here. Let's say somewhere around the center is a good idea. You'd want it to start there. So we'll start from here, build this up, and this L shape like so. Then get yourself the nether brick fence, put in another brick fence, put in a stone slab facing up, put in another brick fences all around it, get iron bars, and put it at the 4 corners, so you get something like this. Then get yourself some hoppers, and let's say I want to feed it off into this position here. Whatever, I'll use a chest as well, just to show it. So there's the chest, that's the one I'm going to be feeding it to. So feed it up, and you want the hoppers to be underneath this entire area. Like this. Then extend it for 3 more, and 1 further away like this. So you want this area. That's the area of the hoppers. Alright? So now get yourself some stone slabs and cover up all of these hoppers. These ones are already covered like that. And lastly, build up a wall around this design area. Like this. What you want to do next is provide the areas where you're going to be feeding in the stone and the wood. So build this up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can see, there's a slot 4 high. Same thing on the opposite side. Like so. Build this up 1 more level. Like this, and 2 high, 3 wide. There's the slots. This is for the stone, this is for the wood. Over here you can place more blocks for the ceiling, leaving this block, which will be taken up by the dispenser, with water. The water will be done a bit later. Cover up this portion here. You can use glass so you can see out or see in and see the wither. You can also use completely stone blocks if you feel like it. Close off these temporarily because we'll be breaking them later on with just about any block you feel like. Get your water and pour it over here as well as in the 2 corners. So you get a dead zone right there, then you've done it correctly. Finally, get yourself some stone slabs and put in a ceiling. Get the blocks of iron back, give it another level, 2 more, and then extend the ceiling into here, like so. Then you want from here to extend it 4 blocks. Use stone slabs to give yourself a surface like this. Didn't mean to be like that. And this is where you're gonna have the iron golems standing. So there you go. Notice that the last point is right on the last bit of the chunk. So That is good. Build it up a bit, one more layer. And one more layer along these sides, but not the one facing into the prison. Alright, extend these. And extend the ceiling along here. Alright, you are ready to summon the iron golem. You want to summon it around here because if you summon it inside, it kind of gets stuck in walls, and that's really annoying. So there's your iron golem, and just kind of push him in. There you go. That's a good iron golem. He can stand there. Seal it off. Let's close him off. And notice you can't place ceiling tiles where he is, so just kind of push him in the corner. Place the blocks, push him in the other corner, and you can sort of finish it off. If this doesn't work, you can also use pistons to push them down, but this sort of works, so it's all good. Personally, I prefer to be able to see, so get yourself some windows into here so you can see the iron golem. And, you know, make sure that it's alive all the time. It shouldn't die, as I said, but it's always nice to be sure. Then again, you know that it's alive because the wither isn't running amok and killing everything, so. Alright, there you go. Now you want the containment system or the container for the snow golem. So build up this area here, remove those, and put glass. This is where you're going to have your snow golem. So break these for now and summon the snow golem right in there. So get yourself some snow and a pumpkin head. And let's create it. 1, 2, 3, create the pumpkin, there it is. Good. And seal him off. Stone there and glass there. Alright, there's the iron golem there and the snow golem there. So at the moment you can actually summon the wither and everything will be fine. Well, yeah, you need to provide water into there. It won't be fine. You need water, and you want to redstone this down to here so you can place the wither, go over here and click the button to activate the dispenser. If you're doing this in survival, obviously. If you're doing this in creative, you can kind of fly around to the button I'm placing right there. Get yourself some glowstones and kind of give it a nice, like so, just so you can have light down below. Put in some lights. You can actually place the lights down below here because the hoppers are see-through, and I believe that the half slabs are also, don't quote me on that, not sure, but you want to kind of light up that room, so do it whichever way you want, but you can't place any of the lights along here because this needs to be block resistant, blast resistant. Anyway, this is basically done, so I will actually summon the wither right now. You want obsidian, it's fine. So let's get some sand, get some skulls, and summon it. The wither will be summoned right there. 1, 2. Let's make sure that I'm on hard difficulty. Good. There's the wither being summoned. As you can see, it's got its health increasing. So we go up here and we click this button to cause water to flow right over it, which is what we want. As you notice, the wither isn't damaged, or the blocks around the wither aren't damaged. And you can go up here and turn off this water. You won't be using this dispenser for anything else. In fact, it's kind of a one-time use, but you can't break this because otherwise the wither will escape, so we just leave it there. As you can notice, it's working already. The primary head is focused on this guy, the secondary heads are focused on this guy here. What you want to make sure is that when the wither is summoned the first time, that you are outside and further away than this snow golem, because otherwise it will target you if you're in, you know, survival mode. And since once it's here, the only time when it can change targets is either A, if it's damaged by a living entity, so droppers don't count, or B, if the chunk unloads and loads again, it'll kind of update who it's trying to track. But since there's no way of getting inside the blast chamber except through these ports here, and on one side you're going to seal it off with obsidian, and the other side is going to be sealed off by the blocks you're pushing in. So no enemies can actually get inside here, and there's water flowing, so no enderman can teleport in either. And if there's any enemies all around this perimeter, and they're closer than this golem here, when the chunk gets loaded, the wither will actually target that enemy instead of the golem. So my suggestion is kind of build a fence around your chunk location, or just make sure that zombies don't count. What would spiders or something like that, living entities spawned in here or created in. It actually doesn't matter, because if it targets the enemy, it still won't be able to shoot it, because there's no, all blocks are closed off, so it'll just target it and kind of look around, but it'll still be shooting at this guy and targeting someone else, so you're absolutely fine. If that monster is killed, it'll start auto-targeting the next closest, which will be either this one or anything closer, but it'll never actually target this guy, because there's always this guy who's closer, so you will be safe. Basically, this is it. You have finished it, and this is the wither prison, which is guaranteed to work and guaranteed to not let the wither escape unless you damage it too much. Now, I'm just going to show you the next bits. What you want to do is, if you've got wood, then it's rather simple. You just need to move it from the 6 tall blocks and move them into a 6 position like this. By 6, I mean if you're using an oak. If you're using the others, you still need to be in here. If you really feel like it, you can push them in just in a line of 2s like this, but the efficiency will be slightly less, well, quite a lot less. For the stone, you'd be pushing it into here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and kind of, from your stone generator at the side. Lastly, if you're doing this for stone, what you need to do, and I suggest doing this before you summon the wither, because you need to get inside here, is you, instead of this block, place a dispenser. Then get yourself a block of iron, or just something for a line. Get a redstone repeater, and this will be the one that powers your dispenser. So connect that up to a timing system that makes sure that this gets turned on whenever you produce 3 blocks of stone. So that would be the right after it gets damaged, it breaks all of those. That breaks these. Sorry, I should have kind of mentioned that you'd want these. So that's the actual size. Let's put that button right here, and that still works. So just have these closed off. That's the actual height. So now if you damage it, it will only break the water plus any of the stone that you push in. So after it gets damaged and breaks, so arrow just shot, you don't want it to, the next arrow to shoot when you produce 1, 2, 3 stone, and then the arrow gets shot, these all break, and 3 more, this gets hit, they break, and it continues on. Naturally, it's not only that line, it would be all 4 of these, so you'd be pushing in 4, and any time it shoots, it would break 12 blocks. And finally, if you want to provide an auto loading system into here, just connect it to a hopper system, feeding in arrows into the dispenser, and put like a chest or something, or a group of chests staggering up, so you always have arrows. If you want to maximize it completely, you can have an automated skeleton farm, and set this up in its vicinity. So the skeletons, if you're nearby, the skeletons, you have to stand near the skeleton spawner, unless you're using monster spawner. Anyway, this is up to you, and whatever you do from here on is really your own choice. I'm just showing you how to contain the wither, and I'm pretty sure that I've accomplished that task. So hopefully I'll be seeing this in a lot more worlds now. I mean, the wither is an awesome entity. It has 2 blasts which break wood blocks real fast. I've used this for my wood farm, the tutorial of which I'll be putting out real soon. And the wood farm is capable of producing 6,000 wood per hour, and all you need to do is just, you know, ask in front of the planting location with something pressing on your mouse button to make sure that you keep planting the saplings. So you keep planting the saplings whenever the next tree has been pushed away. And as I said, 6,000 wood per hour, and naturally it requires 6,000 bone meal per hour as well. But you know, that's kind of a given in a wood farm. For stone, you just need to connect it to a cobblestone generator and hook it up with arrows and the power line for the dispenser. I believe that covers everything. I will now show you what happens if you damage the wither too much. After that, this world will be gone, so, you know, don't do this. So if you keep damaging the wither, it starts shooting off these blue skulls, as you saw, and it escapes and starts spam doing whatever, because as you notice, it's trying to reach that guy there. The heads found targets over there and over there, so they're attacking those, while the primary head is focused on that guy. And until they actually kill off all of these, nothing much else will happen. But once everything in the vicinity is killed by the 2 heads, the wither will become idle, meaning it won't be attacking anything. But it'll still be targeting this, so the 2 heads at the side will start launching those blue skulls, and yeah, your world will be gone. As you can see, there's the blue skull because the secondary heads don't really have a target because those guys are, you know, can't be seen. So yeah, don't do this. That's very important. If you want to kill the wither after you've got this set up, get yourself a very good sword, like, you know, the best sword you can get, enchanted to insane levels. Then let's build this off again. Break yourself a slot in this slot here. Get inside, jump in, and just start spam slashing at it. Heck, if anything, you can close off this water here and just start spam smashing it here from that position there. You'd still get damage to your structure because, you know, you can't kill it before it starts launching the blue skulls, but you'll probably get something like this without the wither on top with some of these broken, and you can somewhat fix that up yourself and replace it if you want to respawn the wither again. But I have no idea why you'd want to kill the wither, because in its perfect state it's completely harmless, and you know. Anyway, so that's all I have for you guys for today. I'm hoping to see these in other worlds, so leave a comment, like, subscribe, and do whatever else. Have fun in Minecraft. This was Dan, and hope you liked it. See you guys.